refer to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force. You believe it's this boy?
He can see things before they happen.
He can help you.
The Force is unusually strong with him.
See if the one who will bring balance.
Anakin! Tell him to take off!
Will I ever see you
He
again?
can see things.
What does your heart tell you?
Are you sure about this? Trusting our fate to a boy we hardly know?
Anakin Skywalker, meet Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I sense much fear in you.
The boy is dangerous. They all sense it. Why can't you?
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Hey! So welcome to the Jedi Council. I'm here with Master Gonzo Jin and Obi Ken the neighbor Kenobi. And we're here. We're going to talk about the Phantom Menace Episode 1 of Star Wars. So, do you guys remember when it first came out?
Yes. That was my first year of college.
Really? First year of college. Wow.
Yeah.
I remember it was Gonzo, your mic's muted.
That's the best Gonzo ever.
I was in third grade when the movie came out.
What? No, you were not.
Man. What's up, everyone? Thanks for being here. What's going on? Yeah, I remember. I actually did a line for like forever to watch this movie in the theaters the first day.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, what it was we had where they were asking people at work to volunteer for a day off. And they came to me and asked me if I wanted to volunteer for a day off. And I was like, yeah, because I knew everybody was at work, so nobody's going to be at the movie theater. So I went and picked my daughter up, and we went and watched it together. And that was the first time she'd ever seen a Star Wars movie in the theater. And I think still today, Phantom Menace may be her favorite one because, you know, she was really young. She could really relate to Anakin as a young boy.
Wait, the train. Every day, every Thursday. I mean, every Wednesday. Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, so I liked it. I actually watched the movie yesterday. I don't know if either one of you guys watched it just for this, but actually, everybody talks so bad about it, and I still enjoyed it sitting there watching it. Yeah,
it seemed better now.
Right.
I haven't watched it in about a year or two.
Right. So I also watched stuff on like the making and everything, and I thought it was really sad that George Lucas really thought that Jar Jar Binks was going to be the breakout character. I think he was thinking that Jar Jar Binks was going to be like the Chewbacca of these three movies, and people just didn't like Jar Jar Binks. So
yeah, it didn't happen.
But I don't know why. It's a funny character.
I think he is too. Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question before we start going through the movie stuff like that. What make you watch the movie in the theater? So you watched the preview, right? That's basically what came out in 1999 when it first came out. So what was the best part that said, you know what, I'm gonna watch this movie in the theaters? For me, is to learn more how Darth Vader starts as a kid.
Correct. Right.
That was for me. What about for you guys?
I mean, go ahead, Ken.
No, you go. You go.
It was one. How long had it been since we had a Star Wars movie?
That's the other thing too.
Really, the whole thing was you wanted a Darth Vader backstory ever since you found out that he was Luke's father. So
It is?
So I mean, that's what it really did it for me. And then when I was a kid, I always heard stories of the way Darth Vader became the way he was that it was Obi-Wan and Anakin fighting on top of like a volcano, and that Obi-Wan kicked him in.
Yeah.
So, but
what about you, Ken?
It's my first movie about Star Wars inside the theater. I mean, I was too young. I mean,
You didn't see the other ones?
no, I was too young. My parents never liked it, so yeah.
Mm.
You know, I mean, it took 19 years until I was old enough to go by myself.
oh wow.
Wow. 19. Damn, you're old. Damn. Behave.
So-
You're in YouTube. Behave. You're in YouTube. Yeah.
All right. So, what are the parts of the movies you guys thought that you really liked about it?
That I really like about it.
Like, what was the parts of the movies that really stood out to you of the Phantom Menace?
I love the council part when Anakin's there and they're asking questions, and they knew before him. And Yoda was amazing. I mean,
yeah,
you know that, and every fight, especially the ending.
Right.
I mean, every lightsaber action was the bomb in that movie.
Yeah, I think the last lightsaber scene was the I think was one of the best ones right now. Still up to this day.
Well,
I
I don't know if it would have been as good as what it was had it not had that song to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. Yeah. The song. That's an amazing song. Yeah.
So I mean, John Williams, he always does a great job at scoring the Star. Well, he does a great job scoring any movie.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
But
sure.
I mean, and I've heard George Lucas himself say you could sit there and watch any of these movies with nothing but the music and still know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And it was fun. And it's funny that I didn't know that he actually did the music for Batu Galaxy Edge.
Oh, did he? Wow.
Yeah. There's in Disney Plus, you can see it. There's a documentary.
Oh wow.
Galaxy Edge, and he did all that music that is around. So yeah.
Right.
Which that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I mean, the guy. What I think probably the first thing I ever seen him do, I actually seen in the theaters that he scored was probably Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws and E.T. for the first two.
Yeah. And another thing about the movie, let's go back to the movie for a second, is that you get to see Obi-Wan as well.
Oh yeah,
Obi-Wan.
Oh
yeah. You get two stories there a little bit, you know?
Oh yeah.
But that's pretty cool.
Well, from what I understood was the way they made it sound like when they first started making the movie, the focus wasn't going to be on Anakin, which is weird. The focus was going to be on Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
And then they changed it to the focus on Anakin. And really, if you think about it, all 6 of those movies are really about Anakin Skywalker. If you really think about it.
Of course.
So, but I mean, you know, watching the whole journey and everything like that. And, you know, and the whole thing is you grew to love the Anakin character. I mean, especially if you've like seen those movies and then watched the Clone Wars, you know, you even grew to love Anakin in the Clone Wars. And then when it comes that time for him to turn, it just like tears your heart out when it's that time. And because you've just fell in love with this character and you don't want to see him go to the dark side. You don't want to see that. But you know, I thought the kid that played him in the Phantom Menace, I thought he was great. He only lives a few miles away from me. So
that's why you like him.
Well, I've never met him, but I do have a friend who's got a great big Star Wars collection, and he had one of those custom-made lightsabers, and he had Jake Lloyd sign it for him.
Nice.
So, but I think the only other thing I know Jake Lloyd was in was that Christmas movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. What was that called?
Oh, Jingle Bells.
Was it Jingle All the Way or was it something?
Oh, yeah, Jingle All the Way.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I thought he was good in the movie. I mean, And if you remember the original trilogy, everybody, all the other actors, basically their careers ended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only person who made it out was Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But this one, yeah, it didn't do that to these people. This movie didn't. You have Liam Neeson, who became successful. Ewan McGregor, who's always been successful. Natalie Portman. Actually, she was very young when she made that movie, and she went on and done a lot of stuff. Keira Knightley was in the movie. So I don't think a lot of people knew Keira Knightley was in there, but she was, and but yeah, I think it was a great movie. I think what it was the first time we actually seen Lucas really get to use computer generated stuff and everything like that. Now, the Yoda, the puppet, I don't think the puppet was as good as the one they used in Empire Strikes Back for the prequels. And I think they only use him in the Phantom Menace, and the rest of the time he was CGI'd, wasn't he? Yeah. And I thought he looked great CGI'd. I didn't like him. I didn't like whatever, because I think they recreated the puppet and it had, even when we watched it there in the preview, he just has an eerie look about him. It's almost, you can tell he's a puppet. But yeah, I the puppet from like Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, I thought that looked great. I don't even think they compared when it hit this. So
no,
and yeah, so them going CGI for Yoda, I thought was the best thing to do. They were able to give him more emotion and everything like that.
Plus, he could fight.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I think it was, Yoda's the one that everybody thinks of to being wise and everything like that. But and that's why I loved, you actually got to see in this movie, the first time you got to see the Jedi Council, you got to see the Jedi Temple. You always heard of Coruscant. Remember, if you ever read books, you read about Coruscant, and you never, it was always in your imagination what this place might look like. And this is the first time they actually put it where you could see what Coruscant looked like. And
they made one mistake.
What's that?
The ending, chopping up Darth Maul. Should not have done it. Should not have done it.
I don't think they thought he was going to be that big of a character.
But then they brought him back, and he's like half robot, in the comic books. So it's just, that was the only mistake that I think that George Lucas made with the whole entire film.
But the thing is really, Darth Maul almost wasn't even a Darth. Yeah, because sometime in there is when Sidious finally killed his master. And by the rule of two, if Plagueis would have still been alive, Maul wouldn't have been a Dark Lord of the Sith. He would have just been an apprentice of an apprentice. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, he turned out to be probably one of the most popular. To me, he's like the Boba Fett of that trilogy, because he was one. He didn't have he had more screen time than what Boba Fett did, but he didn't have as much screen time as like most of them did. And
like Count Dookie.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I think probably the one thing I always thought that stood out really in this movie was the pod race.
Oh, right in the beginning, like right in the middle, yeah.
Yeah. And I think even the video game, they've just redone it and put it out. It was like, even though, so I don't know.
I still have it.
Do you really?
It's right in my corner.
Oh, wow. But
that's the Phantom Menace for the PS1.
Yeah. So, but it's the pod race kind of throws in all that speed that Luke always puts in there and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I think that was great. I think the space battle at the end was a little lacking compared to what most space battles we got in the original trilogy. It was kind of them going up against, the Trade Federation. battleships, and of course they went for the control ship so they could shut the droids down. But yeah, the droid army.
They looked amazing in the movie.
Oh, they did. Yeah. And it just makes me wonder, do you think the reason why they made a droid army is so it wouldn't be so bloody whenever you had the Jedi just cutting them down?
Probably just all robots.
Yeah.
No, but really, it's a really a good movie. I mean, it really was.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched it in a while, and
right.
I hadn't read a book in for about 3 or 4 years.
Right.
It was really good. I mean,
I
really enjoyed it.
I need to read the books to these movies, because I mean there's so much more details in those books than what there is. So, but I don't know. I just remember seeing the joy on my daughter's face, and I think that's one of the reasons why I always really fond of the Phantom Menace. I mean, I understand like the Senate parts. A lot of people are bored through it, but without that, because the story is not only about Anakin, it's called the Phantom Menace because of it's Palpatine coming to power. You know what I mean? Slowly. Yes. And so basically, and I know we talked about this. We talked about, we got people in here who didn't understand what's going on and everything like that. So the movie basically starts off with the Trade Federation causing a blockade around Naboo because they're upset about what were they hyper lane taxations or something like that, trade taxations.
Some trade.
And it was actually just a cover up for an invasion of Naboo, which was supposed to start off the Galactic Civil War. And it was stopped by the Jedi and also Queen Amidala herself, because they thought she was only 14, that she would be an easy pushover. And it turns out they were wrong. And basically, it was Palpatine trying to get his Galactic Civil War. I mean, he eventually got it later, but this was the first time he actually tried to get it. So, but yeah, but probably I'd say my favorite Jedi was Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh yeah, he was amazing. Oh my god, he played that role perfect.
Well, he was one of those Jedis that was kind of like to the side from the Jedi. He I guess they was like he walked the line of light and dark side, and that's why they didn't agree with him. And he truly believed in using the living force, and where a lot of the other Jedis had kind of lost their ability to see what the future, and that's one of the things. And I know I'm getting off the topic of the movie, but that's one of the things they said most Jedis didn't like Anakin Skywalker was because he was so pure with the Force that he had lost what they had lost. So, but unfortunately he had to die, because if he did not die, Anakin would not be the person that he is. That's true. And
then Obi-Wan wouldn't be the person that he is. So it kind of worked its way through.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Because you know what? If he never died, maybe Obi-Wan turned.
Right.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, so that was the best part about it. I mean, it was sad. Nobody was expecting him to die, but when he did, that changed the whole thing. I think that made the movie even better.
Well, that's why
so serious.
Right. That's why that last song during that was called the Duel of Fates.
Yeah.
Because it was the Duel of Fates of if Anakin is going to get the father he deserves. And he really didn't get a father. He really got a brother type is what he got. Is what he got out of Obi-Wan. Yeah. So.
What up, VP?
Hey, VP.
Because I would have a hard time believing Anakin turning if he didn't pass.
Right.
Because he kept him in a straight line.
Oh yeah.
It'd be kind of hard. But it's funny that Yoda and everybody already knew that he had a path. That he had the dark side inside of him. That's why they did not really want him to become
What was his attachments?
Yeah. He's too old, all these excuses, but really they had that fear of him.
Well, the thing was, though, the bad thing was he was just as flawed as Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan had attachments too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because him saying Qui-Gon wanted this, that's an attachment. Doing what somebody asks you to do before they die. And I think there's sometime and it might be in the Clone Wars where even Yoda explains to him how he really didn't want Obi-Wan to be the one who trained Anakin if they were to train him. So, I mean, I seen, you know, there's always been, over on Star Wars series, they always talk about if somebody else would have trained Anakin, like Mace Windu, or, you know, if Qui-Gon would have actually survived, how would Anakin have turned out and everything like that. And, you know, one of the things was Qui-Gon probably would have went with him to save his mother before it got so far the way it did in Attack of the Clones. But, yeah. But I don't know. There was a lot of appearances, you know, you got, so like we were saying, there was a blockade, everything like that.
Yeah.
Why we send
Jedis?
They sent Jedis to force a settlement. And that's the Trade Federation.
The Senate sends them, right?
Yes.
All along, it was planned by Palpatine.
Yeah, but the Jedi are peacekeepers.
They weren't planned by Palpatine.
I don't
think Palpatine didn't know the Chancellor had sent the Jedi. So it wasn't until they got there and
this guy called him and says
Newt Gunray. Yeah. Let Sidious know. So, and then that's when they tried to kill him with the gas, and they escaped down to Naboo. That's when they figured out it was an invasion and not a blockade.
Yeah.
And then that's when they got Queen Amidala off planet. And so basically they got him off planet, and weren't they shot by one of the battle on the way out that caused something?
Actually, the space side was blockade. I was doing the blockade.
Yeah,
it shot him.
Well, it was the Trade Federation battle,
and then we see our favorite unit, R2D2,
which there was multiple units on there, and they all went out, and I think all of them were blown away, but one who did fix it, and that was R2D2. Yeah. Now, here's what's funny. Like I said, I watched the movie yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen it in a long time. And we have 2 dogs. And every morning I get up, I walk down, and I always like, hello, boyos. And I watch this, and I see Jar Jar Binks walk into that room with those droids, and he says, hello, boyos. And I look over at my wife. I goes, is that where I got that from?
Apparently.
Probably.
Or Jar Jar got it from you, either or.
So we meet R2D2. He's the savior of the Naboo ship for Queen Amidala. Unfortunately, the ship is still damaged, so they have to land on Tatooine. This is what I don't get. Have you? I know Ken has. I don't know if Gonzo. Have you ever seen a map of the galaxy?
Yes.
There were more planets close by.
Well, I mean, Tatooine wasn't even in the direction. Because I think Naboo's like here, Tatooine's way over here, and then you have
Well, the Federation wasn't.
But then again, you know, maybe hyperspace lanes, the way they work. So I don't know. I don't know how hyperspace lanes work in Star Wars. So, but. Yeah, so they ended up there, and then that's when they go to get parts, and when they come across Anakin as a slave, and they find out. Obviously, the only way they found that's what I don't understand. They didn't find out he had Jedi reflexes until he said he could pod race. So, and then they tested his blood, and I'm like, they hadn't really even seen any kind of proof that this kid has Jedi reflexes, except for on the word he can pod race.
Well, even when he went to the council and said Anakin sees before,
right?
He never said that ever through the whole entire movie until that one part. Like, he does. Okay. and then they tested it, and then he sent out like a little thing, and it came back. Oh yeah, he's full. I'm like, really?
Yeah. Well, I guess, and you know, I was watching that, and you know, I hate doing this because I've told Gonzo not to do this. Yeah. I'm like, don't overthink the movies. I said you got to watch it like you're watching it through kids' eyes. But he sends that to the, you know, to test the blood for midichlorians. I'm like, how the hell does this ship have? You're on a Naboo ship.
Well, I don't think he sends it to the ship. The ship sends it to some or someone else.
No, Obi-Wan gets the results.
And see
Yeah,
the
but he
results.
probably sends it to somewhere else. He doesn't send it. They don't have a lab there, bro.
Well, I don't think it was that. I think it was just analyzed. They had something because I mean he sent the results through his telecom
phone thing, yeah.
So,
Yeah, true.
But then again, you know, the Star Wars universe, we're not supposed to understand it. I think one of the funniest things that when I watch other YouTubers is when they apply our laws to Star Wars. I'm like, that's not how it doesn't work out. But so they're on Tatooine. This is not the first time we've seen Tatooine, but it's obviously it's not the same area of Tatooine. It's at Mos Espa instead of Mos Eisley's.
Yeah.
And then we get to see characters for the Jabba the Hutt, which is just a small cameo during the pod race.
We see 3PO.
But how good did oh my god, Jabba look compared to the originals?
The original,
amazing.
Yeah. But I don't know.
I was skinny.
Yeah. I thought Jabba looked amazing. The whole great big puppet from Return of the Jedi. Now, when they tried to put him into A New Hope, the first try, it didn't look very good. The second, when they redid him again, he looked pretty good, but still didn't look like Jabba. But yeah. So we got him. We had what's his name?
Well, you had the half-built CP3O.
Yeah, we had without the coverings.
Yeah.
So that's where we find out Anakin built C-3PO.
Yep.
And
which we didn't know that.
Right. But then we also got Warwick Davis was in the crowd. Now I thought Warwick Davis was in the crowd because even Lucas said Willow was a part of the Star Wars universe. The movie Willow. Have you ever seen Willow?
Yeah, really?
Yeah. So I thought when you seen Warwick Davis in the crowd that he was there because of the Willow character. Turns out no, he's a whole new other character that was with the Marauders that were in Solo. Because he's in that as one of the Marauders. So it's that same character. But so we got to see him there. There was all kinds of stuff. The one comedian did the voice of the announcer. I don't know if he's the comedian. You know who I'm talking about. He was in Whose Line Is It Anyway? Greg. I can't think of what his last name is. But he did the voice of the announcer for the pod race and stuff like that. But then you get to so they get off, they get to Coruscant, and of course we get to see the Jedi Council.
For the first time.
Right, for the first time. And then we also get to see what else? The Senate.
The Senate.
And that's when there's a lot of Easter eggs. That's when the grub leaps come up, which are the ETs. And everybody's like, this is a boring, and I'm like, I don't find it boring because you've only heard about this stuff and now you're finally getting to see it.
Yeah.
But I think they just gave us a little taste of Coruscant in that, where you kind of wanted more. So I think they were setting you up for what the next movie was going to have.
Yeah, probably.
But then they went and, of course, they made peace with the Gungans when they got back to Naboo. And to me, I thought that battle was awesome. I did. The droid versus the Gungans.
Yeah. Did we already went back to the pod race or no?
What about it?
Are we in the pod race or we passed that pod race already?
Well, I mean, we can go back. It's not a big deal.
Hit me, Chris. Get me going, Chris. Come on, hit me up. Hit me up, Chris. No, hold on. Take me out, Chris. Take me out. Hold on. Hold on, Chris. Hold on. Hold on, Chris. Hold on.
Oh my God.
What?
You said hit me up, but you keep saying wait.
Hit me up, Chris. It's a EA sport game for him.
Well, he saved the world without even knowing.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think R2, 3PO, their memory were erased a couple of times? Because I'm pretty they don't remember, or
No,
they
I
don't.
think 3PO's was. I don't think R2's was.
No, R2 remembers a lot.
Yeah.
I remember he remembers Obi-Wan and everything.
Chris, I did it to you, man. Your copyright.
That's it. You mean a copyright claim?
Right now, your thing is black.
Oh. Mar, insert Jeopardy theme music.
My bad.
Right.
And the other one, they didn't do anything. So I was like,
well, I think if we talk over it a lot too, that also helps out. Is what it is.
Well, for next episode, what we're gonna do is we're not gonna put the audio, just the movie.
Right.
But I think it's good so people can see it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. My bad.
Episode 1 through 3 threw me off with the overuse of CGI. I really don't like the CGI. See,
I love it.
What is it with me and Kelly not agreeing? Because I thought the pup. Now, if they would have been able to get the same puppet that they got from Empire for Yoda, that would have been fine. I just thought the one they had for episode 1 just looked weird. It did not
look weird.
Yeah, sure. I actually heard a rumor that it cost over $1 million for that original puppet.
Oh wow!
Oh really?
Yeah.
Everybody's selling it, huh?
No, I'm saying to actually make it. There's only one. Now where it is?
I just wonder the story about the Shao and how it goes together, bro.
Right. Are we back yet?
No, not yet. Yeah, we're back, I think. Yeah, we're back. Yeah. So it's like, that's the story that I want to see when the Mandalorian. I want to learn more about.
We get back and you start on something
else.
Yeah, sorry.
I think we've been talking about something else the whole time they've been gone.
About the child, that would be cool. But anyhow, so as you can see, I don't know how far you saw, but he didn't know what he was doing. But at the end of the day, he saved the world. He saved the galaxy. He saved the world. So
right. I mean, to me, it's what tells you why the original trilogy is. I mean, everybody thinks of the original trilogy when they think Star Wars. And I mean, I think even besides the thing that he didn't have the technology to do the prequels back then wasn't the only thing. I think what it was he knew that episode 4, 5, and 6 was the most interesting part of the story. And because actually, the first time Lucas ever showed any kind of script to Fox.
Good night, VP. Thanks for being here, buddy. See you tomorrow.
Thanks for being here, VP. It started off with the words Mace Windu was a Jedi Bendu. So I mean, Mace Windu's always been there from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It's just So, but that's another thing we didn't talk about. That you got Samuel L. Jackson in the first Star Wars movie on this too.
Hey Chris, I just got a message saying that you drop a video answering your comments.
Yeah, I do. Not yet.
Oh, I just got it right now. Huh?
Huh. No, I haven't done a video for answering comments.
Maybe it's YouTube. I don't know. Maybe it's that last video that's just coming right now. I don't know. But the thing is, we have done the first one. We got 10 more to go.
Yes.
No?
Well, it'd be more than 10 if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna do in order. So we're gonna do episodes and also the side movies and stuff like that. So we're gonna.
It'd be 11 with all the movies.
Yeah. So we got 11 shows secure. After that, I don't know.
Are we gonna go in order, or are we gonna throw those sides in where they're supposed to go?
Where they're supposed to go.
Okay. So that means after the prequels would be Solo, then Rogue One, and then the originals.
That's correct, though.
Yes, sir. unless they make another one, another movie in between now and then that falls in that place, I guess we'll have to wait.
What about series? Bloom Cheesa says, series? Or I mean, like series, like what?
Mandalorian.
Like Mandalorian? Yeah, we're gonna do Mandalorian, obviously. We probably can do the cartoon ones as well.
Oh yeah, the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Clone Wars. We can do Clone Wars.
Now the newest one I can't get into. I don't know. Have you ever watched? Have you watched it, Ken? The newest one,
Is that with the kid? Is that with the kid?
It's not. It's about racing, and he's supposed to be a spy for the Resistance. And I tried to watch it. I just couldn't get into it.
Katrina, too many, honestly. But yeah, but it's fun. Yeah, we're gonna get into that as well, Bloom. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. I think the Clone Wars is what made people able to watch the prequels.
Yeah, so, for sure.
And then you get to meet like Ahsoka Tano, and there's all other. We get to see all kinds of new bounty hunters we didn't know about in the Clone Wars, like Cad Bane. I think he's like one of my favorite. Well, he's not a bounty hunter, is he? He's what would you call Cad? Is Cad Bane a bounty hunter?
Yeah, he's a bounty hunter.
He's a bounty hunter, yeah. Oh, also Hondo Anaka comes from the Clone Wars.
Yep.
Who's also in Rebels.
Hi, Kelly.
So, and Hondo Anaka he's probably one of the greatest characters they ever came up with, and I really love that they added him into Batuu as a character. I think
it's great.
But yeah.
Is that Dixie?
Mm-hmm.
But so that was episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Yes, hopefully you learned something from us. If you didn't, at least you laughed with us.
If
thanks for being here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up.
Jonathan Chong.
Spoiler here. No, don't worry about it. We won't do it. We won't say that Darth Vader died in episode 4. We're not gonna say that.
So
Ken, you got the joke. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Let's say your math a little bit off.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Honda was good. I'm glad he's there. Yeah, I'm glad he's there in Galaxy.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yep. So that's gonna be it for tonight for the Jedi Council. Just remember, go and if you haven't subscribed to Gonzo, go to the Adventures of Gonzo. Go over and check him out and subscribe to him.
Yes.
Ken's got a YouTube channel.
Ken,
is it Kenny 5007? Is that it?
Yeah.
He does stuff from the parks there at Disney World, so go check that out. And next week we'll have episode 2. Attack of the Clones.
Links are all in the chat, by the way, of all the channels, including Ken's. Thanks to Katrina.
Thank you, Katrina.
Once again, thank you for all coming. I appreciate all of you. I'm sorry I didn't really pay much attention to the chat. I usually kick myself for not doing that. But Star Wars is something, once I get into it, I'm kind of just focused on that.
That's why I'm here. Don't worry.
Yeah. So, but thank you all for coming, and thank you, Gonzo and Ken, for being on here as well.
Sure.
So, and we will see you next week on Jedi Council. So may the Force be with you always.
Always.
Bye.
Good night. See you tomorrow. Good night.